Hey guys, so while I have a brain cell, I'm gonna try to talk about something. How many of you have a problem with focusing? Focusing! Blah. The right answer is probably me, I do, because we all have some trouble focusing, and maybe in this generation more than ever. I don't know, I'm not the expert on that. But I'm gonna tell you a short story. When The Wild Robot was coming out, I was telling my partner to go watch it, and he was like, no way, that movie looks boring. And I was like, you get your ass over to that movie right now. And then he was like, wow, it was a really great movie when the movie was done. And I was like, I told you. It turns out we liked the movie for different reasons, but I digress. The thing is, when we were watching the trailer was when he decided that movie is boring. And it was because maybe the movie was focusing so much on these beautiful scenes and there wasn't really any action. My partner had zero complaints going into Transformers 1 though, and I'm gonna guess that that's probably because he likes the Michael Bay movies. But this isn't a criticism of my partner's taste so much as it is me wondering what is it that draws people in, what is it that keeps people watching, and how much does our inability to focus have a part to play in that? You see, the reason my partner liked The Wild Robot was because it made him feel nostalgic for robotic technology that he liked when he was a kid, and not for the wondrous and gorgeous story about unconventional motherhood. I also saw the movie with my brother, and later when we went to tell my siblings about it, we each had very different opinions. I was like, oh, this movie is so amazing, and my brother was like, it's just good for being a Mother's Day movie. After I expressed my dissatisfaction with his answer, it did make me think that it wasn't really a criticism of the movie, but maybe a testament to our inability to just kind of linger in the moment. We just need to be entertained constantly. Similarly, I was trying to show someone the original Trigun recently, and they thought it was so slow and so boring, and they couldn't believe how, nothing happens in it, and it takes forever for people to know he's Vashin and not, some random lame guy. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I know it's slow at the beginning, but this is Trigun. It's, the most cool, manly, how do we get so bored as a society that we don't think Trigun is cool? Although that same person did watch Trigun Stampede with me before and was able to sit through it just fine. However, he said it was too sad and probably wouldn't sit through it again. Now, those two shows have very different storytelling styles, even though they're set in the same universe and about the same characters, and I'll give you one guess as to which one is faster paced.
Actually a miracle that I got away with it this time.
I found him! Over there!
Perfect shot!
Not long for this world.
Finally, after lots of complaining from me, this person said something along the lines of, Sharon, I feel like we grew up on very, very different things. You were starved for entertainment. You barely had anything you were allowed to watch. And me, I watched some of the most far out adult, nasty stuff with no supervision. And I just became desensitized to everything. So why did I make this video again? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about Transformers 1, but also to hopefully present a cure, or rather an option that caters even to the people who mainly just want to be entertained right now, while still not insulting them with just action-y drivel. I still think it would do us a lot of good to try to engage more with what we're watching and not constantly feel like we need to be hyped up all the time, but at the same time, I also get it. People are busy, I'm busy, and we get busier and busier over time, and a lot of that is something we can't help. Life just happens. So when we do take precious time to watch movies, it better be good, or it at least better keep my focus and take my mind off of just everything around me constantly demanding my attention. Just because the audience has gotten more lazy doesn't mean the writers have to follow suit, but unfortunately I think the writers have doubled down on becoming even more lazy than anyone in the audience. This should absolutely go without saying, but we shouldn't have to choose between quality and action. Just because something is an action-packed movie doesn't mean it has to be meaningless. Thankfully, Transformers 1 is meaningful in its own way, even though it doesn't really slow down much at all. I think it does this by developing the characters through the action. There's never no reason why something is happening, and we always know who is who and what they mean to each other. Instead of some boring revenge plot or a boring origin story about how someone got their powers or something, it's a story about two brothers, and it reminds me a lot of The Prince of Egypt. A bond of brothers is not so easily broken. Worldviews have to change. We have to see them change. And in the case of Transformers 1, the worldview is absolutely shattered. We've been seeing Transformers fight in some capacity for decades, for generations. But this movie finally answers the question of why. Why are they fighting? What happened? And it means a lot. Don't just show characters fighting. Show them fighting for their right to choose how they live. These are robots, but they're fighting for their humanity and for their dignity and freedom. Have them genuinely inspire the characters around them and, by extension, the audience. This is not just about looking cool. This is about life. This is about your worth as a person. It speaks to our innate potential and desire to do something with our lives, to do something that means something. The fact that this story shares some similarities with Bible stories such as David and Goliath or The Passion of the Christ really, I think, is a testament to how beautiful it is, to how universally human it feels. And you can still watch Sentinel Prime get ripped right in half on screen. I mean, what more do you want?